live.
Live.
Episode 24.
Man, it's about to be a banger.
About to be a banger. The title of this episode is Feels Like 97. If you've watched the National Championship, you know where we're going with that reference. If you haven't tuned in yet, again, guys, this is episode 24. Make sure you go back and listen to episode 1 through 23 if you want to get some good laughs, some good takes from our previous podcasts. This is Tyler's Talking Sports. What we do here is we talk about sports. Anything with balls in it. I'm going back to my original saying.
Yeah.
On the other side of the mic here, we got Mr. Tyler Hess, brother from another mother, and myself, Tyler Castle. But again, guys, what we do here is we talk about sports. And, you make sure you can follow us on all of our major, or all of the major podcasting platforms. That would be Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Sirius Radio, iHeartRadio, whatever station you want to listen to us, we're probably on there.
Yep.
So make sure you check it out. Also, too, guys, our last episode on YouTube is doing really well. So to start 2024 off, we exceeded expectations on the last episode. So hopefully we can continue that trend onto this. And again, guys, too, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you share this with your buddies if you like it. It really helps us out and helps us get our followers up. I think our goal for Facebook this year is 500 followers. We're trying to hit 500. I think we're at 268, 269, somewhere in there. So right on pace to hit 500 by next year, hopefully. So make sure you give us a 269. Yes.
That's right.
So getting closer each day. So hopefully we can hit that goal by the end of this year. So yeah, guys. Hess, I'll let you kick it off with the sponsor, and then I'll go into my sponsor.
All right, guys. We always have these two people that always support us, these two companies. The first one is Isaiah 117 House. I got it right. I didn't get the numbers mixed up. So Andrew, Ashley, Krista, anybody that's listening. But Isaiah 117 House, if you don't know what they are, they provide a physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement. They're an incredible nonprofit organization. They're growing day by day. I think I seen today they put a new house in Fort Bend County, Texas. So that's that's in Bend County, Texas, for anybody from Texas that might be listening. The other day, I think they put one in Summer County, Tennessee. So, I mean, every day they're getting a new house somewhere, and it's just great to see. It's a great organization. They do a lot of good for the kids that are in moments in their life that they don't know what they're going to see, what the next day has entailed for them. So, really, it's great to see. And they do reach out to us here in Lebanon. They actually are trying to get a house here in Russell County, and they support local foundations. They support local little leagues, youth sports. So they're just a really good organization. They don't only ask for help, they help others. So it's just really great.
Yeah, absolutely great organization. Actually, one of our viewers made us a bet. So we actually got to do a donation of $100 to Isaiah 117 House, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll get that donation out to them. So shout out to Joe Lewis for that bet. And Joe, I'll be on the lookout for that cooler. So we'll be looking for that cooler. But the next sponsor, speaking of coolers, a cool place to go is Next Level Fitness Club in Lebanon, Virginia, 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. It is a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning, certified personal trainers. They also have classes now Monday through Thursday at 5:30 after work. So make sure you check that out. It's a great deal going on there. You can follow them on their Facebook page at Next Level Fitness Club or on their Instagram at Next Level Fitness Club as well. And then also, too, you can check out their website. It's got photo gallery. It's got pricing plans. Anything on there that you're looking for information is on that website at www.
Yep. All right, man. This is big.
Big news dropped today.
Yeah, changed our whole episode and how it was going to go. If you haven't paid attention, if you don't have a phone, you don't follow any sports, you probably listen to their own podcast. But if you didn't find out, Nick Saban has announced his retirement from college football in the University of Alabama. Truly one of the greatest coaches to ever grace a football field. I don't care. I know people say his NFL career was cut short, whatever. It wasn't that great. This dude is an incredible football mind, literally the GOAT of college football. All time, he won 7 national titles and 6 of them at Alabama. The other one came at LSU, and he's retired. Bama, no Saban. Wow,
yeah, it's gonna be weird to see. He was there what year? 2007? That when he came in?
I believe so.
2007. Yeah, because I think that's the year after that year he went.
This is his 17th season, so 2007 would be the year.
Yeah, 2007. So, wow. And by the way, guys, today is 1/10/2024. I didn't give the date. I always give the date in the intro.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this, it'll be 1/11/2024 at 6 a.m. in the morning. So appreciate y'all stopping by. Again, guys, we're doing this live. So, we just heard about the Nick Saban, and any sports news or anything like that, too, will be live as well. But yeah, Nick Saban out at Bama. Definitely going to be weird, especially for you and I. We're both SEC fans. And, well, anyway, anybody really who watches college football, it's going to be different.
It's a bombshell.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, greatest coach of all time for Alabama, for college football in general. Definitely going to be weird not seeing him on the field next year, and seeing how this impacts college football overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy just to think that Nick Saban is not going to be on the football field to be there, to see him in Alabama, or just in general. Like it's I really don't ever remember a time I've watched college football and really followed it that Saban hasn't been a face of something. LSU, I remember him with the Dolphins. But just to go over a little bit of history of Nick Saban, he is 72 years old. This was his 17th season at Alabama, which ended in a loss to Michigan, which it's crazy to think the greatest coach of all time's last game was a loss. I hate it more now that they lost, that he couldn't go out on top, because if anybody deserved it, I believe it was Nick Saban. In 17 seasons, he won 201 games, tied with Vince Dooley of Georgia for the second most wins at a single school in the SEC history, behind only Bear Bryant, who won 232 games in his 25 seasons with Alabama. Under Bear Bryant, Alabama did reach drastic heights, winning 13 SEC championships and 6 national titles. Saban returned to the Crimson Tide to those heights, winning 9 conference crowns and 6 more national titles. In his 28 years as a college head coach, a career that included 7 national titles, 12 conference championships, 11 of those were SEC. One of those was with the MAC when he was at, I think it was Toledo. I could be wrong, and I need to look that up before I do that. But then he has 19 bowl wins. Saban never had a losing season. His worst season was in 96 and 98 with Michigan State. He was under 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent coach. Big question, though. Big question mark around this. Of course, everybody's going to be asking, who's going to take the shoes of Nick Saban?
That is a very, very, very good question. I'm very curious to see where they go. There is a list out there. We reported on our Facebook page that they're already interested in some names. The names that are on the list that are speculated to be on the list are Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer, which is Washington's head coach, Dabo Swinney, James Franklin, Mike Norvell, and Marcus Freeman. All those coaches, though, would come with huge complications and incredibly big buyouts. Like Jimbo Fisher, buyouts won't touch hardly any of these buyouts. So it will be a lot, but it was also reported that Dan Lanning is their top target. And that's very interesting to think about Dan Lanning. I mean, he's been under a coaching tree of Kirby Smart, who was under Nick Saban. He's a young, up-and-coming coach. Look what he's done at Oregon. I can see that move. But to me, I mean, I know there's a lot of people on social media and stuff saying Dabo. I don't think Dabo Swinney's that guy now because, 1, he's not a fan of the NIL. 2, he struggled with transfer portal. And 3, I mean, I think after this season, I think he's in ground in Clemson. I think you see Dabo stay there. But just 2 names, if I had to throw out another name out there that maybe just not saying I know anything or that it's even being reported, Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, right now at this moment, I mean, it's just the timing of this. And before you go into what you're thinking, I wanted to throw out some stuff here that I did some research on this. And I really thought the time, and I'm not trying to point fingers at Nick Saban, take away from him as a person. But the timing of this is very interesting because the transfer portal's over.
Yep, he waited.
Recruiting is pretty much done other than a couple other signings.
It goes till February.
Yeah, but then that big bulk of stuff's
big names are gone.
But some things that I actually had jotted down from previous episodes that didn't include in the episodes because they didn't have much backing to it, I went back through in our notes. And back in October, which would have been right when we started the podcast, there were rumors that he had signed a multi-year $14 million deal to join ESPN as an analyst in 2024. And then I was doing some more research, and this was in December. This would have been episode 17, 18. It was said that 2 months ago, He let the Red Elephant Club, which people who don't follow Alabama, don't know who this is. The Red Elephant Club is the highest tier donors at the University of Alabama. These guys, these males and females are putting in millions upon millions every year to the University of Alabama. He let them know he was planning to retire at the end of the year, no matter what the outcome of Alabama's football season was. So here's my thing. I get it. You did it on your own time when you wanted to, but some of these kids that transferred in, or some of these kids that signed, they came to play with Nick Saban. Most of them. If they came to Alabama, they wanted to be under Nick Saban, and it's just interesting timing. I mean, it's going to work out for whoever takes this next job if they get the right. This proves that Alabama has to get the right guy, because you get the wrong person, even if it's the big name, even if it's Dan Lanning comes in, but he's not the guy who messes with these recruits, this could be catastrophic. We could be looking at the 90s Alabama where they barely won 4 games a year. So this is interesting. I mean, I like what he did. He's leaving the program in good hands. They've got a good class coming in, but I just want to know what he said to these last couple of recruits. I would love to know what he said to the team today when he met with them. But it's going to be interesting to see who they get. What are you thinking on as far as prospects of who they get as a head coach?
Yeah, so first off, I would not want to take this job if I'm Dan Lanning or, Lane Kiffin or Dabo Swinney, because Nick Saban, again, is a GOAT. I mean, you got big shoes to fill. You're honestly setting yourself up for a career suicide if you have one bad year. So, yeah, I would, those guys, in my opinion, that they would be crazy to leave the programs they're already building, because Oregon was in a New Year's Six Bowl. Clemson sure had a down year this year. I think they finished 9-4.
They finished very strong.
Yeah, they finished strong, and they're coming. I mean, they'll be top of the ACC again. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of be crazy to – and, two, they're getting paid good money, like you mentioned. So, if I was Alabama, I'd go in-house. I'd look inside first in your organization. Look at your DC, look at your OC. Start there. Can you go somebody in-house that already knows the system? Maybe not a massive contract. Start out small. Start out with a no name essentially in that aspect, and that's the route I would go. You see it happen all the time. These guys go after these big names like Jimbo Fisher, and it just don't work out. And two, if you bring in Dan Lanning or you bring in Lane Kiffin, they're going to want to bring their guys too. So then you're going to have a lot of transfers, and you're going to have a lot of the guys Nick Saban built, leave that program because they're going to get replaced with whoever they got at the current university. So I think that's a big deal. If I'm Alabama this time, I'm going to go in-house first would be my decision. And then I would branch out and go outside. You see all the names pop up because everybody's got their own speculations and who they think will be. But again, if I'm Alabama, I'm going to look in-house first and then go from there.
This broke about 5:30?
2 hours ago.
5:30?
Yeah.
Which is Wednesday today. 5:30 about on 1:10, 5:30 on Wednesday. And
man, can you get that date out?
It took me a minute. I've been typing future dates in today at work.
It's 25 of 7 p.m.
Yeah, 25 of 7. But apparently, from what's being reported and this is a very fluctuating breaking news. Nothing's in stone. We're 2 hours into this news being broke. So a lot of people are kind of caught off guard, and they still got a lot to do. But there's a lot saying that they're not going to go in-house, that they don't believe there's anybody inside Alabama that can bring what Nick Saban has, which is iffy for me to think, because I get what you're saying. I mean, you bring somebody in-house, one, they know the people that are coming in, two, they know the players that are there. More than likely, if you go outside, you're losing not only Nick Saban, you're going to lose your OC, your DC. You might retain some of that.
You might clean house.
Those guys are going to bring in. But again, I go back to the timing of this. And if he brings Dan, say they do get Dan Lanning, they bring him down. He's locked in that recruiting class for Oregon, the transfers that they got, and they got some pretty big names.
Yeah, they're big.
And now he leaves Oregon. They
got Dylan Gabriel, and they got what's his face from UCLA, right?
Yeah, they got the UCLA quarterback.
Yeah, what is his name? I know his name. Andrew's going to get me, but I can't think of his name.
It'll be okay. Andrew will be okay, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's definitely going to shake things up next year.
It really is.
The next couple months.
And I was correct. It was Toledo was his MAC school. He was 9 until he coached one season there in 1990, and then he went to Michigan State. and then he coached at LSU, and then he was with the Dolphins for 2 years, and then he's been at Alabama since 2007. He's 201-39 in his career at Alabama.
Jesus, that's insane. Insane. He's dominated since 07.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. To see who
they got that. Alabama cannot roll the dice on this. They need to get it right, because it would be terrible to go from a powerhouse to nothing very quick. I mean, look at Texas A&M. In my opinion,
it's very
Texas
weird.
A&M could be there, and look what they've done. Fumbled.
It's weird that that this happened today after me and you've been talking over the last couple of days, how history repeats itself.
Yeah.
And in 98, the last I checked, Bama was, they weren't that great. They were good, but they weren't that great. And now
history does repeat itself.
And here we are, it's been a good almost, 20-some years almost of Bama dominance. 17 for sure with Saban. And now it's like maybe that could come to an end. I mean, I don't think it does. I don't. Depending on who they get.
But we'll see what happens with who they get and what happens with the players they got. And then, too, granted, you might have the players, but if you don't have the same coaching style as Nick Saban or Kirby Smart, some of these established Dabo Swinney's on that list. But if you can't get the team to buy in, it ain't gonna matter. I mean, Saban struggled. People forget this year at the beginning they struggled. Alabama was struggling first 4 or 5 games. Do not forget.
Oh,
so,
it was like we talked about it. This was
if you can't get the team, you're looking at a 5-win team possibly, or it could be terrible because the SEC's no slouch, and Bama's got a tougher schedule this year. So yeah, wow.
Names that are popping up right
now.
I would
lose it if Bama went like 6-6. I would lose it.
I'm scrolling through.
I wouldn't know how to act.
What's being reported through just by many people. Dabo keeps popping up. Lane Kiffin is on here. Dan Lanning, Kellen DeBoer, which that might be a good one. Grab him from Washington.
Yeah.
Mike Norvell. Norvell took it. He went to Florida State. We're trying to figure out why they got him. Norvell would keep Alabama's recruiting machine rolling and bring a new mindset to the offense. But his buyout
I wouldn't mind.
Incredibly big.
I wouldn't mind Norvell. Didn't think about Washington's coach. That'd be good. That's come off of competing for a national championship.
Anyone coach of the year. DeBoer has no experience in SEC or the Southeast. That wouldn't be a non-starter for the Tide, but it could be the difference between DeBoer and another candidate. So I'm gonna give you
an outside take. Who I think would be a great fit there. Yeah. Lane Kiffin.
I mean,
yeah. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing right now with Ole Miss. Okay. Look what he's doing in transfer portal. They're just come off 3 seasons in a row or 2 seasons in a row, 10-win seasons.
We'll go back even 2. He was
I'm just saying,
a laughing stock of college football as a head coach after what he did with UAll.
Yeah, USC.
And then he went to USC. And then he was nobody and doing nothing. And then he became an offensive analyst for Alabama because Nick Saban called him. And then he became the OC. And then he left there, and then he's been at Ole Miss. I mean, to me, that makes sense. But, boy.
I'm just saying, if he left Ole Miss, I think he just signed something, too, with Ole Miss.
He did. He signed extensions through 2032.
Okay. Yes, Alabama's going to have to – if they want the name, they're going to fork it out. But they got the money, so yeah, we'll see, guys.
Apparently, the receiving coach from Alabama has stepped down as well.
Guys, leave your comments. Let us know who you think is going to take that Bama job. Our Facebook's getting quite a bit of feedback on that, since it is the biggest news we've had on the podcast, other than Shohei Ohtani signing with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the next biggest news we've had.
I think it's funny too. I just looked on here. Shador Sanders is on Twitter telling all the Alabama players to transfer to Colorado. He's saying, pack your bags and head to Boulder is what he's putting on Twitter. He's tweeted at that wide receiver, the 5-star Ryan Williams, who he committed. He's already tweeted at him. Just to talk about Ryan Williams, he was the number 2 overall recruit in the country, 5-star wide receiver. He said it's about the departure of Coach Saban and the receivers coach, Holman Wiggins. Of course, it's a hard decision. I don't really want to do it, but I have to explore my options and see what happens before February 9th. Williams is a 2-time Gatorade Alabama Player of the Year, and says he will sign on his 17th birthday next month. He said he had no idea about Saban's retirement until the news broke. I couldn't talk to him, so I knew nothing about it. I found out when everyone else did. I was shocked. I didn't believe it, and then I saw the official page and was like, oh, this is real. Williams said he is still keeping Alabama in the equation until proving otherwise. He committed to the title on October 8th of 2022. So he's been committed for 2 years.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's big.
A lot of these players right now is going to do what he done. They're going to wait and see who the coach is.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, wait and see what happens.
man, I'm
We'll
trying
see.
to think of some random name though, like somebody we're not. Nah, it won't happen. I ain't gonna say it.
Urban Meyer. That's where you're going, aren't you?
Jim Harbaugh. No, I was gonna say Urban Meyer. I was gonna say.
I knew it. I knew he was going in there. I thought about him too. I was like, what if? That won't happen though.
You know, Les Miles, Jimbo Fisher,
Les Miles,
and then bring Ed Orgeron, and that'd be their coaching staff.
Yeah, boy.
No. Hey, that Marcus Freeman take, Notre Dame's head coach.
Yeah,
it's not a. I think that's your safest bet.
If you don't want to fork out a lot of money, sure.
But he just got Riley Leonard.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I didn't think about this.
Well, nobody did.
And before we go any farther into
which we mentioned it that he might retire a couple podcasts back.
We did.
And
that was because of him. Like I said, I was seeing rumblings of it, but I mean, it wasn't nothing hard facts or anything. But you know what? Really, I think the one person right now that is probably the most upset about this, I think that's Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart finishes his career against Nick Saban 1-5 in his last game. He lost by 3 points to Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And Kirby lives to beat Nick Saban. Like, I mean, they talk about it all the time. They're best friends, you know, and now he never has another chance to play against him.
To come back, yeah.
But I think it's funny. I was watching a clip 2 days ago of like their conversation before the SEC title game. And Kirby was like, "Yeah, you're looking good, you know, can't wait to play, you know." And Saban said he believed this was Kirby's best coaching job he's done in his entire career, was what he did this past year. And Kirby said, "Oh, I appreciate it." He goes, "But what you did at Bama this year was pretty impressive too." And Saban looked at him and said, "I'm too old for this shit," was his exact words. And I mean, now looking back at it, that dude wasn't trying to be coy. He was being honest.
Yeah, he's 72. He's tired. Yeah. He's ready to retire. What a great legacy.
Yeah. I mean,
shout out to Nick Saban.
Good for Saban. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, guys, like Castle said, shoot us your comments after you listen. Message us. Tell us who you think will be there. I'll probably put a poll up tomorrow, just kind of feed off of it a little bit. But yeah, man, this is interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I mean, like one of our listeners texted me. He said, depending on who they hire, it could ruin the program. It could be like hiring Muschamp at Florida.
Absolutely. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. You cannot roll the dice with this. You got to get the right guy. So make sure you make the right pick.
So the timing of it, though, is going to be tough for them to get that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Right now, I'm distracted right now because I'm watching Tennessee basketball lose to Mississippi State right now by 10.
It happened.
They're down by 10.
It happened.
I can't stand it, man.
My
anyway, Bowl Mania. Bowl Mania finished up. It wrapped up. Shout out to the Bowl Mania champ, Jason Fields.
Yep, Jason Fields.
He did elect to not have a shirt signed by us.
I didn't want it.
I still told Hess we need to get a shirt, so we might do a shirt still and sign it and just raffle it off to somebody.
Yeah.
But the next thing we'll do as far as Bowl Mania guys will be March Madness. So it'll be in March 2 months from now. Of course, love March Madness, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be, of course, making polls, making posts about it too. So be on the lookout for that coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. Other big news. What I thought was going to be a conversation we talk a lot about, but broke. Was it yesterday? This broke.
Yep.
Tiger Woods leaving Nike.
Yep. Tiger Woods is out.
I don't know anything other than Tiger in red polos.
Weiger Tudes, I don't know, man. It's it's crazy. Actually, sorry, it's announced on Monday. I don't want to get Andrew on me. So it was actually announced on Monday. He's been with Nike for 27 years.
27.
Yes, I'm 28. So 1 year of my life, he was not with Nike. So take that into perspective.
I think that was the year that he wasn't in golf.
probably, yeah. Actually, yeah, it would have been 96.
Yeah.
So that's the year. Was that the year one of his first Masters?
I believe. I had to look that up.
98 maybe. It's 97. Right through there. It's right. I was just born. So I ain't gonna know. But anywho, anyway, right in the mid 90s. But you know, who do you think Tiger goes to now that he's leaving Nike? He's into this partnership. Another big name that nobody's talking about also left Nike the same day. Jason Day. Jason Day is a huge golfer, but he don't get the recognition, of course, of Tiger. Nobody does as far as golf.
Well,
But a big thing with Nike, too, I was reading, they no longer make golf equipment. They quit making golf equipment in 2016, and I'm glad they did because their golf equipment sucked. But they're still trying to sign major athletes. But Nike is down since 2021, 40% in sales.
What's happened with Nike, I did some research on that as well on their marketing side of it. Actually seeing a article from their PR and business analyst. Nike has they did quit making majority of golf equipment in 2016. They still made shoes because they're still in the shoe business, but they quit making the clubs and the golf balls. So that they lost out on that. But from what I've been hearing is the big thing with their sales is Nike's based off running. I know we see it in basketball and stuff like that, but running is where Nike got their footing. That's funny, no pun intended. But they've lost a lot to On. I can't remember the exact name, but On shoes. They lost a lot to
On Cloud.
Yep. And then what's the other one? Nokas?
Hokas.
Yeah, sorry. Hokas. They've lost that on those on running. Those two have completely just jumped them in sales as far as a running shoe. And Nike's wanting to bring their focus back to the running and kind of get away from some of these other sports and focus more on the running side of it because that's where their brand was established at. Another thing that people have been talking about, it's been really hard for Nike. Apparently, they've had some discussions on trying to get women athletes. And with Tiger's history, it's been really hard to say, how can you support this man for what happened with him? And then you're trying to sit here and support us as women. With where we're at in this world today, I get that take. But I believe past is the past. You move on from it, give somebody a second chance. But I do get it. But as far as what you're saying, where does Tiger go next? I've done a lot of thinking about this as well, and I think he just does his own thing. I think he makes his own branding. I think you see just Tiger's Woods Golf. I mean, I just think you see.
Well, he does have his own brand. I mean, he has TW.
It does, but it's partnered with Nike, so he'd have to get the rights to the TW. They actually have the rights to that logo and the naming branding of it, so he would have to grab that from them.
But he's not. That's what I was going to say. He's not going TW, but he does have his own. I mean, it's his own brand. It's Tiger Woods' brand.
It's just like Michael Jordan has Jumpman, which is through Nike.
Right. Yeah. But I see him going with TaylorMade. Because he's still using TaylorMade clubs. He has a Scotty Cameron putter too, so he might go with Scotty Cameron stuff. I think TaylorMade might sign him. That's you got to think too. Huge sign.
I don't think. The reason I went with maybe him doing his own thing is because Tiger's kind of going to do his own thing in 2024. He's going to play a major or a
dude's creating his own golf courses. I mean, he's he's a billionaire. So
really see him just take a step back and maybe just because it's going to be really hard to get somebody like people said Under Armour, people said Adidas, people said TaylorMade like you have. There's people that said Ping. There's another golf company out there. I can't remember what the name is. It's not Puma because Fowler. He's not going to dress like Fowler does. But that would be crazy if he came out in all red jumpsuit.
That would be crazy.
But it's just I just see him going his own thing because this year he's kind of doing his own thing, and it's gonna be weird though. My wonder is though, if say Tiger is in the final round on a Sunday, do we see him still in the red polo, or is he move on and wear something different?
I still think he wears red. It's just gonna be a different brand.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We will see. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with old Tiger Woods and where he goes next. But I'm excited to see this year, though, with Tiger in golf. I'm excited to see him.
I'm glad he's playing one major or one big event each month.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I really hope. I like to see him pull off one of the big ones. I'd love to see him win the Masters again. If I had to pick two, I would love to see him. I'm not saying he's going to, but if I'd love to see him win the Masters again. And just truly my favorite golf tournament outside the Masters. I love the British Open. I love, especially when they go to St. Andrews. I love that whole weekend, and I'd love to see him win the British Open again.
Gosh, that's a tough course.
Yes. Maybe. Be interesting. Maybe.
I said maybe for a reason. Let's get back to football.
Yep, feels like 97, man.
Feels like 97. Hess, what's your thoughts about the national championship? Well, we supposed to go live, guys. I've been battling sickness. I'm still coughed up a little bit, sinuses.
Coughed up, not cuffed up, coughed up.
Coughed up, yeah. I got the sinuses going on. They're still trying to bother me right now, but so we're supposed to do a live. So sorry about that, guys, but we'll have another live. We got some big games coming: AFC Championship, NFC Championship coming up. Got
Super Bowl. College basketball.
Got college basketball big games coming up, so we'll do some lives. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But what was your thoughts, Hess, about the national championship?
Beginning of the game, I was like, well, I guess I'm going to bed early because
Yeah.
that offensive line for Michigan and Edwards was just running all over him. I mean, he had 2 carries, 2 touchdowns, and I think he had like over 100 yards on those 2 carries. So I was kind of like, oh boy. But I did keep telling you, this offense, Penix will get settled in, they'll get going. As the game went on, I'm very, very, very impressed, and I didn't realize that Washington had 2. They had co-defensive coordinators. They had 2 people running the defense. One focused on the line, the other one focused on the linebackers and safeties and DBs. And I thought that was really interesting, and especially how they came together because they shut down Michigan that third quarter. That second, The end of the second quarter, all the way through the third, that was owned by Washington's defense. But on the flip side of it, Michigan's defense, they were so physical up front. Washington's offensive line couldn't really handle them. J.J. McCarthy didn't do anything that impressed me too much. I mean, he made some decent throws on the run to their tight end. But I think in a way his tight end and his wide receivers bailed him out a little bit. Blake Corum, that dude's the more I watch him, he'll be a decent back, I think, in the NFL. He's got a really good first step, especially off cut, and he's very patient runner. And once he makes that decision to hit that hole, he's fast. But Michigan's defense, I didn't give them enough credit. I don't think that I didn't give enough credit with what they deserved on the year because of who I thought they played. I didn't think the Big Ten's offense was that good, and it kind of made me think maybe their defensive numbers were inflated. But that defense is one of the most physical defenses I've ever seen, and their secondary was really good. But on the flip side of that, Roma Dunes, he missed 2 wide open passes. One was his fault. He got twisted up, and he admitted to it after the game. It was his fault. The other one, the pass rush got to Penix. My other big takeaway, speaking of Penix, I thought he played decent, but a lot of red flags in that game. The dude didn't get hit too much, but when he got hit for whatever reason, it was like he was hurt. I mean, and after the game, it looked like he was just completely, utterly destroyed. So, thank you, honey. I had to get a battery. My mouse died mid pod there, guys.
Hey, Krista.
Yeah, but Penix though, I wonder now if he goes to the NFL, can the dude take a hit because the line protected him pretty well during that game. You got to
think how many times he's been injured already.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's been injured a lot. I mean, he's had 3 season-ending injuries. One was shoulder, 2 was his knee.
Yeah.
Big red flag.
They're looking at. They're looking at.
Big red flag.
Paying attention to that.
But I will say, Roma Dunes, before you go on, Roma Dunes, I think it's a coin flip between him and Marvin Harrison, depending on what kind of system and what you're wanting to do with the wide receiver, because that dude is good. He's really good. And shout out to the running back Dylan Johnson. I mean, you were talking about that too. I don't know how the dude was even carrying the football. They said he had 2 severe injuries to both feet. He had a bad high ankle sprain. He had a ruptured tendon in his knee. But he had told the running back coach, whose dad had passed away the night before, that he was going to play that game in honor of the running back coach's dad, and he wasn't coming out of that game. And he actually played pretty well too. But hats off, though, to Jim Harbaugh, J.J. McCarthy, and that defense of Michigan, because they proved that defense wins championships.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they won 34-13, in case y'all didn't watch that game. Washington, really, I was kind of disappointed in them. Their offense didn't look the same. Shout out to Michigan's defense, like you just mentioned. But still, Penix was a Heisman front runner. I mean, he finished second in the polls, right behind Jaden Daniels, of course. But I was not that impressed with Penix in this game. I thought he had a very off game. He overthrown multiple balls that should have been caught. He missed some wide open throws too. It wasn't his best game. You can give credit to Michigan's defense, but he looked way better against Texas, or even the game before that. So kind of disappointed in Penix. I kind of put this one on Penix myself, truly. He should have had a better game. So when it was 13-20, that was the best that game was.
But it was 13-20 for a long time.
Yeah, until they turned the ball over. And that's another thing, too. I mean, you just can't have that happen. Just broke down multiple times against Michigan. And I told you, I thought that game was boring. You said you really enjoyed it, but I thought it was boring. I thought the Michigan-Bama game was better than that. Honestly, I guess probably because it went down to overtime, and then you have to score. So I was hoping the score would be closer. It was 14-3 there, and I told you this game's over, and it proved to be true. But when it was 13-20, I was like, please, Washington, just come back, tie this up. Let's get a momentum swing. Get it tied 20-20. At least give yourself a chance. But I don't know. They just fell apart there. Penix, like you said, took a beating. So, hats off to Michigan. I still hate them, but hats off to them.
Just throw some stats out there. J.J. McCarthy was 10 for 18 for 140 yards, no touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr. was 27 for 51. That's a big thing.
51 pass attempts.
Washington had no run game. I mean, they had none. No. And I think that's a lot of the stuff we've seen with Penix. Because I think, you were talking, we need some RPOs, we need some play action. They didn't get to have that in this game. I think that affected Penix. But he had 255 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Dylan Johnson had 11 carries for 33 yards. That was their leading rusher. On the flip side of it, Blake Corum had 21 carries for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Donovan Edwards had 6 carries for 104 yards.
I think I saw the stat on Edwards. He had 2 carries for 88 yards or something like that. I mean, it's something crazy because he ran those 2 for touchdowns.
He had 2 carries for 88 yards, and both of those carries are now 3rd and 4th all time in national championship for longest touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Back
to back.
But I mean, really, Michigan's offense, again, their run game was good. Offensive line, really good. Defense, though, that defensive front and that secondary was very good.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, I mean, defense does win championships, and they proved it. Fun fact from this game, Jim Harbaugh got his national title.
Yep.
He's been in college football for over 17 seasons in college football, or 17 seasons as coaching, and he's been in 1 Super Bowl and 3 playoff appearances. This now gives him a national title to join his brother, John, who won a Super Bowl, and to join their father, who won the national title when he was coaching at Western Kentucky in 1996. So all 3 Harbaughs, all 3 generations have been champions.
That's pretty cool.
That is very interesting, very cool, very interesting. And I thought it was really creepy how much of their dad looks like Jim. Jim. Yeah, Jim. I think it's Jim. Yeah, Jim's at Michigan. I get Jim and John mixed up all the time.
It's Jim.
Yeah, Jim. Old Jim.
Jimmy Johns.
Old Jim. But yeah, like I said, I did enjoy the game. Maybe I enjoyed it because I knew it was the last one. I just tried to make the most of it. Was it my favorite national championship? By no means. It wasn't. No, it wasn't. But I did enjoy it. I thought for who was in the playoffs, that was your 2 best teams. I mean, after they beat Bama, Michigan deserved to be there, and I already had Washington there. So, my opinion, that was your 2 best, and Michigan just pulled it out in the end. Their defense just stayed tough.
Yeah, defense closed out that last quarter. Yep. Question is, though, big question right now circled around Michigan. They just won the Natty. Of course, let Harbaugh enjoy it with his team. Yep. That's what he's trying to tell analysts and stuff. But everybody knows, will this be Jim's last game? Was that Jim's last game at Michigan? And if so, where is he going?
I absolutely think this is it. I think he did it. I think there would be a better chance of him coming back if they didn't win. But he won. He's won his alma mater. He played there for 4 years. He brought a national title to him. So I think he's gone, and I think he's an Oakland Raider.
Raiders?
A Las Vegas Raider. Sorry. I'll never get it out of my system.
It's Oakland. Yeah, I think this was his last game too. He did win, like you said. If he didn't win, I would think he would stay. But there was a lot of drama too circling around. Michigan still is drama going on. That's went hush hush now that they won the Natty, but it'll resurface, I'm sure.
Speaking of that, the NCAA president just came out and said that Michigan earned their title fair and square. That the scrutiny about Michigan this year needs to go away. Well,
they earned it fair and square, sure, but I don't think it all needs to go away. I think some repercussions.
Did you see the video of Connor Stallions at the Michigan bars? They're giving him free. They're giving him free beer, free food, like everybody.
Oh,
they
of
love
course.
It.
Yeah, of course. Whatever. Yeah. But water under a bridge, right? That's the saying. Take the high road. So hats off to Michigan. Can't say anything bad about them, other than I hate them. But I do think this was Jim Harbaugh's last game as well. But I have him leaning a little bit farther out West Coast. I got him going to L.A. I just like him in that fit. He played quarterback there in 99 to 2000. So fun fact for you there. Yeah, and he'd just be a great opportunity for him. I see more success at LA than I do the Raiders. The Raiders always hyped up, but they never can put it together. At least with LA, they do have some young talent there. They got Justin
Herbert.
Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, who else? Khalil Mack,
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I mean they're stacked.
Jordan
so,
Palmer.
Right. Yeah, Palmer's out there. I forgot Palmer from Tennessee's out there. Yeah, so yeah, it could be a very stacked team, and could be very good. We've talked about how good they should be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he went there, I think he turned that program around, and I think we see LA back in the playoffs.
I think he fits better in the NFL. I've said that since he's been at Michigan. But I mean, with time, you're going to get one. If you're a good coach, you're going to get one. The Las Vegas thing, I look at it that way because, one, they have a good defense. Two, he wants J.J. McCarthy wherever he goes. And he goes to the Raiders. It's easier to bring J.J. McCarthy in there than go to the Chargers and try to bring J.J. McCarthy in over her. But I don't know why anybody, NFL owner or GM, would want that's funny, would bring in J.J. McCarthy as to be like the quarterback. Could he be a backup? Absolutely. But
yeah,
I just don't.
McCarthy, I mean, not throwing shade just because he's at Michigan, but he's not a starter in my opinion right now.
Maybe I'm not seeing something, though. I mean, I'm not a scout.
I don't know.
I've never been impressed with J.J. McCarthy since he's been at Michigan. There's been nothing about him that's been like, I mean, is he athletic? Absolutely. But NFL quarterback? Yeah, I don't think so. But
debatable. I mean, Michigan's run heavy team too, though.
Yeah. And here's another thing: if you're a big quarterback like people make him out to be, you don't take him out in certain packages for putting another quarterback in. Like I don't know. I'm not a scout. I'm not trying to sit here and say it. So maybe there's something that people are saying that because right now I think they got him as the.
I mean, I have him listed as the greatest quarterback at Michigan, is what Harbaugh said, over Tom Brady.
Over Tom Brady, Chad Henning. I mean, over himself.
Yeah.
They got him right now as the fifth or sixth best quarterback in the draft next year. Like
I don't know. Maybe he balls out at prospects.
Maybe.
Or when they do the NFL day,
the combine,
tryouts. Yeah.
Combine.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
We will. We'll see
I don't know. I've picked some do good in the NFL and some I've missed. I don't know. I'm not a fan though. Just watching. But we could be wrong.
While we're talking about McCarthy possibly in the NFL, let's look ahead here. 2024.
Yeah.
College football's over. I hate it. It's killing me.
I do too.
So I'm sitting here.
Start back.
Might as well quit the pod.
Yeah, we're done.
No, but let's look ahead, though, to August 2024. That's when the season kicks off. I'm looking forward to it. What's August? August is the 9th month of the year, so 8 months out.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 8 months to prepare for it, but
August the 8th month of the year, but yeah, 7 months to prepare for it.
Is it?
September's
9th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, been a day with dates.
It's okay, buddy.
It's okay. But anyway,
we struggle with this date and time today, guys.
It's been bad. I think I've done it the last 2 podcasts.
It's
all
good.
Getting the dates wrong. But anyway,
we're doing this after work. So
looking ahead though, September 7th, we do have Texas in Ann Arbor against Michigan. Yeah, that's a big game. I didn't realize Texas had them this year. That just adds to the schedule they got joining the SEC.
Yeah, Texas' schedule is ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be Michigan's first game of the year, unless they got some FCS school before that. But that'll be their first real challenge of the year, so we'll get to see them. That'll probably be the first home.
Who you got
in that game?
Yeah, already. Who you got?
Give me Texas. They're bringing back pretty much that whole team outside of A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy and their defensive tackle. They got a big recruiting class coming in. If Harbaugh's gone, McCarthy's gone, Blake Corum's gone, most of that defense is gone. They got a good recruiting class coming in, but give me Texas in that one.
Yeah, hook 'em horns. You already know where I'm going with that one. Yeah, give me Texas.
But looking ahead to you guys out there might want to throw some money on some future bets. May have changed a little bit since today's news broke, but right now the Georgia Bulldogs are the favorite at 17-4. This was as of yesterday evening, Tuesday evening. So this could have changed. Alabama was second at 6-1. Ohio State was third at 8-1. Michigan was fourth at 9-1. Texas was tied with them at 9-1. Then I threw in Florida State. They're 20-1. The Vols are 40-1. Washington 60-1. And for the guys out there trying to make money, James Madison is 400-1. But they had the best odds of any non-Power 5 conference school, which is really surprising since a lot of people got Liberty making the playoff next year. So But I've been hearing that almost every player is returning to James Madison next year, so that could be.
I think they could build off that.
Yeah, that could be interesting. But I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Last time Michigan won the national title, who won it the following year?
Yeah, Georgia. Psych! Give me the balls, baby. It feels like 98, right?
God.
We're repeating history. We talk about repeating history. Honestly, curious how this Nick Saban thing goes. I mean,
it changes it up a little bit, doesn't it?
Let's say Alabama's not that great next year. Let's say they have a little bit of a hiccup. Tennessee can sneak in there slowly.
Here's a question.
It can sneak.
It's not on here. I mean, the playoffs go. The 12 team playoffs really go. I mean, going to Neyland to play a playoff game in December.
If
you imagine
going
to
finish top 12,
go to Knoxville and play it. I mean, something.
Yeah, best of luck to you.
Go to Ohio State and the end because it starts the week of Christmas is when the first round will be. So it's going to be interesting to see the temperatures, the weather, stuff like that. But anyway, with that being said, talking about Nick Saban leaving before we go on to anything else. It's not in our notes or anything. It just kind of hit me. If Bama is down, let's say they don't get the big hire and they can't keep stability there and they're down, how bad does this hurt the SEC?
Could hurt.
Does the Big Ten become the better conference?
No. I truly don't think Bama has a massive hiccup. If anything, it's like a 2 or 3 loss Bama, and they still make the playoffs. And that's if you have a bad season, in my opinion. But I mean, we could see it shake it up. But I still think the SEC is a powerhouse. Guys.
What if they go back?
You got Ole Miss, LSU, Florida. If Florida ever comes back, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky.
I
don't know. I don't think so. You got Texas and Oklahoma now too. So if Alabama's having a bad year, you got Texas now in the SEC. So they fill that void.
Hey, you just brought something that just triggered with my mind. I'm throwing a name out there for this job. Mark Stoops.
Mark Stoops. That would be terrible.
That safe hire.
That'd be terrible. No,
SEC.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Alabama. Do not do that.
But I mean, I'm just saying that buyout wouldn't be that bad.
God,
somebody who's
you know how pissed Bama fans would be if they are. Well, I mean, look what happened to Texas A&M. Texas A&M had them. And A&M, let's be honest, it was truly the fans that did not want him.
What if he went there and then it was like,
I'd be happy.
We
can beat Stoops. Y'all can beat Stoops. Everybody beat Stoops. Yeah. I'd be happy.
I think if they brought Stoops in, they're going to retain a lot of those players because that takes him away. Look what he's done in Kentucky as a full basketball school. Go to Bama.
Stoops coaches like Saban. I give you that.
That's what I'm getting at.
I know what you're getting at. But
man,
I'm just saying. Maybe I rescind my comment there because at Kentucky, all funds goes to basketball.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So he would have all funds at football with Bama. So maybe he does better. Maybe he surprises me.
And then
again, whoever gets that job, you would really have to try to screw up to mess it up. I mean, but again, it's such big shoes to fill. So I'd be nervous to take that job because it's
who wants to be in that shadow?
I got to try to live up to Nick Saban. Good luck. Nobody else has done it other than Kirby Smart. Truly,
it's true. And
so
I don't
think best of luck.
People who started, I don't think Kirby. I mean, Kirby's at his alma mater. He's at home.
Why in the world would he? Why would he go to the West?
But I'm still seeing the rumors though that he's linked to that Falcons job.
Man, wouldn't that be nice for Tennessee? Just
feels like wouldn't that be nice? God almighty.
I would lose it. It don't matter. I mean, let's be honest. Bama's still going to be Bama. I really do think they will be. They'll be tough next year.
I swear to God, if Nick Saban retires and then Kirby leaves Georgia and it is left with Josh Heupel and the Vols, that would be your premier team other than Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. See, nobody's talking. You didn't mention Ole Miss in that. I'm surprised you didn't.
Still, though, I want to see. I mean, you're right. I'm on that bandwagon with Ole Miss coming in this year. I see what they've got.
Yep.
But I would like to see. I want to see them happen. I want to see them finish top 5, top 4 this year, and I want to see it carry over. Like right now, it's kind of like right now it's like they could do it, but can they do it? Can they really do it? I want to see that.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying though there with Ole Miss. Gosh, I don't know. That was interesting.
Ole Miss wins West.
I swear.
Now,
though, if Kirby
I'm even more confident. I'm even more confident saying that now after Saban retired. Ole Miss wins West.
If Kirby leaves and Nick Saban's retired, and it is Tennessee and Josh, I swear,
wouldn't that be nice if we won the East? Here's the thing, though. Even if Kirby left, like both those programs are staple.
Well, see, here's
programs.
another
Like
thing.
they are such good foundations.
Todd Monken,
like
he's interviewing for the Chargers.
excuse me.
Our offense coordinator. That'd be 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years in a row. Breaking news: Nick Saban has released a statement. Says goodbye to 17 years. Let's see if I can get the statement here. I'll read it to everybody if I can read. I am from Southwest Virginia.
Yeah, sorry, we're going back off to Saban, guys, but that's the biggest news in college football in a while.
We have enjoyed every minute of our. See, the University of Alabama has been a very special place to Terry and me. Oh, it moved on me. To Terry and me, he said in his retirement announcement, we have enjoyed every minute of our 17 years being the head coach of Alabama as well as becoming part of the Tuscaloosa community. It is not just about how many games we won and lost, but it's about the legacy and how we went about it. We always tried to do it the right way. The goal was to always help players create a more value for their future, be the best player they could be, and be more successful in life because they were part of the program. Hopefully we have done that, and we will always consider Alabama our home. Terry also released a statement, and she's pretty much said, it's been an incredible 17 years. The University of Alabama will take us to many amazing memories. We hope that the Saban legacy will be about helping others and making a positive difference in people's lives as well as winning the tradition on the field. Our Nick's Kids Foundation will continue to help children, student, and teacher causes in the state of Alabama. The rules for the game of football may change, but the process will never go out of style. Hard work, discipline, and relentless pursuit of a worthy goal, not cutting corners and doing the things the right way for the sake of the consistency of a personal improvement and not for the scoreboard. Alabama will always feel like sweet home to our family, and we will always be cheering Roll Tide, Terry Saban.
What a statement.
Yeah, very, very good statement there. I like that a lot. Yeah, wow. It's happened.
Wow.
It's really happened.
It's over. It's done. January 10th, 2024. Mark it down. A legend finished.
They're still reporting Pete Thamel and Brett McMurphy are reporting that Oregon's Dan Lanning is expected to be the top candidate to replace Saban. And all come with and they say that there's nobody within the coaching staff right now that looks as a coaching candidate. But yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
okay. So
it's happened.
They're going big name hire.
They're going to throw money.
If Dan Lanning goes there too, that'd be a good pickup.
That keeps them going.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Look what he did with Oregon. He's under Kirby. Yeah. Like I said, he's been under Kirby.
And he coached in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Landing was on the Alabama coaching staff with Nick Saban and Kirby.
It makes sense.
Let me check that out. What are we going to next? I know we're talking about Saban a lot.
We going to NFL.
Going to the NFL
next. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Let me run through those while you're looking
go
at
ahead, buddy.
Yeah, real quick on the NFL, since we're almost at the hour mark already, because we just talked about Nick Saban for a long time, but I love it. We're going to go over the firings and changes in the NFL. There's a lot of changes. I think it's a total of 7 teams now that's came out.
In 2015, he was a grad assistant at Alabama with a Crimson.
He's a young guy.
Yeah, he was on their national championship coaching staff. And then Landing was hired as an inside linebackers coach and recruiting coordinator in Memphis in December, reuniting with Mike Norville, the offensive coordinator at Arizona State, when Landing was a graduate assistant on the campus and a recruiting coordinator. And then he went to Georgia in 2018.
Wow. Yeah, I love seeing these guys come up.
Yeah,
like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, firings on NFL. Today, actually, 110, Pete Carroll is out as the head coach of the Seahawks. Did not see that one coming. He's coached there now for 14 seasons. Mm-hmm. But he will be remaining with the organization as an advisor role. Mm-hmm. Also, too, I know he's got an actual executive role, too, with the NFL itself. So I think he's still taking that, too. He did not want to be out as head coach. I think that was very well stated. But he hasn't done anything there since, 9? 2000, well, sorry, no, I backed that up. 2013. I think when Seahawks won, right? Somewhere around there. No, it might have been a little bit after.
They won the Super Bowl. He's been there 14 years, like you said. 10 playoff appearances, and the franchise won Super Bowl.
2015.
Yes, 2015 was their Super Bowl that they won. It's just it says he was hired in 2010. Carroll was the fourth longest tenured current coach in the NFL behind Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin, and John Harbaugh. 72 years old, another 72-year-old.
Yeah, 72.
Carroll has been the NFL's oldest head coach for several years, but had given zero indication he was getting close to retirement. The 5-year extension he signed in 2020 put him under contract through the 2025 season.
Yeah, he did not want to leave. I know he wanted to stay, but yeah, great coach. Pete Carroll was awesome too at USC.
Yeah.
In case y'all didn't know, go back and look it up. Great
Another
football coach.
A very good coach. I mean, one that does a rare thing. I mean, Saban couldn't pull it off and be successful. Pete Carroll won national titles at USC
and won national title and won a Super Bowl. Yep.
So I mean, I think he's one. I think he's the only coach.
One of few. I was going to say one of few, if so.
I'm pretty sure he might be the only coach to ever have done that. Maybe. Let me see. But yeah, I hate to see Pete Carroll go because I mean he just could become a face of the NFL. But there's always a time for everything, and the Seahawks I think needed a change, and I think they go Dan Quinn. I think they bring Dan Quinn back. I think they get him from Dallas defense coordinator. I think they bring him back, and bring him back to Seattle because that's not a big drastic change in philosophy, but it brings a fresh face with somebody who's used to the organization.
Yeah, very well could be. I don't know. Whoever does take that job could have success because that team's almost there.
Yeah, it's
like it feels like they've been rebuilding for a while, but it's close. There's just not a lot of money around Seattle too, which is weird. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Right.
Next big fire that I wanted to go over was Arthur Smith, fired by the Falcons. He did go 7-10 this year. The biggest thing that I think caused him to get fired was he wasn't able to utilize their picks. So Kyle Pitts, obviously. Don't hear anything about him anymore. Drake London or Robinson either on that team, like the organization had hoped. So I think that's really what got him canned. If you've seen him, they should have technically, in my opinion, they should have probably tried to make playoffs this year. But Hess, I think Kirby Smart is linked to that position. That's what I've been reading on some stuff.
There's a lot of rumors there, but again, I mean, why not? Why not go after him? He's in his state. It's an easy interview. But I don't see him leaving. Back to what I said though, there's 3 coaches who have won a national title and a Super Bowl. Barry Switzer did it at Oklahoma, and then he won the Super Bowl with the Cowboys against the Steelers in Super Bowl 30. And then the other one that did it was Jimmy Johnson. He won a national title at Miami, and then won a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. And then Pete Carroll won a national title with USC, and then won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. That's your 3 coaches that did that. So just to reiterate that. But back to the Falcons though. That job is very promising. It's very interesting to see maybe where they go with their job. Arthur Smith, we talked about it. He was on his way out by week 6. They gave him weapons. They drafted Kyle Pitts. They drafted Benjon Robinson. They drafted Drake London. They've got the quarterbacks back there. I mean, not big names, but they got young quarterbacks back there. Just wasn't working, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go with their job, especially with another head coach who is been fired. We'll get ready to talk about that. But if it's not been reported yet, I know we reported on it that it's leaning toward that way a couple months ago. Bill Belichick, I think if he leaves the Patriots and they move on, you could see him maybe end up here in Atlanta.
Atlanta would be a good fit for Bill because that team, again, they won 7 games. Yeah. It's there. It's got to piece it together. Got to figure out the quarterback. Yeah. My God, you can't do a 2-quarterback system. No. It's the NFL, guys. Pick a quarterback. Yep. But yeah, and he would get it straightened out. I do believe that would be a good hire if he still wants to continue coaching. Another one on here was the Jags fired all their defensive staff. All gone.
Got to fire somebody down there.
They got to fire somebody because they lost 5 of their last 6, something like that.
Somebody had to be fired.
Yeah, somebody got to go after that. I mean, that's terrible. You just had to win 1 game.
Yeah.
You can win 1 game because your defense is absolute trash. Yeah. So, yeah, again, guys, defense wins championships even in the NFL.
I think it was easier to fire the defensive staff than to fire Doug Peterson, but I would say
you don't get rid of Doug Peterson.
I say he's definitely in the hot seat, though, going into next year.
You got to make playoffs with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. You got to.
Yeah.
And who you have on that wide receiver core and running back, I mean, you got to make playoffs with that team. They should have never missed it. That division's too easy, too. Yeah. To miss it.
I agree. It's becoming a little bit more competitive with some of these young quarterbacks. Very young at quarterback.
A little bit.
It's interesting to see, but you're right. Trevor Lawrence and them, I mean, going into the year, that was their division. But moving on, another coach, though, that was rumored to be fired all year. Probably one of the best class acts in all of the NFL. Ron Rivera was fired by the Washington Commanders. Dude beat cancer a couple years ago. Still coached, did everything he could. To me, he's one of my favorite coaches. Not really been that successful. He was decent with the Panthers. He's decent here with the Commanders. But again, I think that's another Pete Carroll type thing. It's just time to a new phase.
Time to move on.
Yeah, time to move on.
Yeah,
and I don't see him ending up anywhere.
I think Ron's done.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't really panned out. Like I say, he had a couple good years there with Cam Newton in Carolina. That's about the only time Carolina was even relevant. Yeah. But he hasn't went to those big, like Carolina and Washington. Let's be honest, they're not really that relevant here in the past 20 years.
Right.
But I do think Washington. I gotta pick on this. I'm going to tell you who I think they're going after is Josh McDaniels. He would do very well with that offense with Sam Howell. Yeah. I think Josh McDaniels would be a good fit there.
I'm not a fan of Josh McDaniels because what he did to us in Denver, he kind of Lane Kiffined us.
Well, he didn't do good there. He didn't do good in He didn't do that great with the Raiders.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people out there. I think there's a lot of coaches out there that are really good coaches, but some just ain't head coaches, and I think he's one of those. But I do see what you're saying with that. I know we're going to talk about him, but I call Mike Vrabel here. I think that would be a good one. I think.
No, I'll tell you where he's going here in a second.
I know exactly where he's going. If it happens, if the domino falls, I know where he's going. There's a lot of young coaches out there that could be good here. This Washington job is viewed in the NFL as the best available job in the entire NFL, no matter what. Like
I never want to coach there.
They're getting ready to build I think they said they're getting ready to build their new stadium. They have the biggest investment group with Magic Johnson, which that dude's investing in everything. They've got a lot of good, promising things. Just their name is stupid. They should never change the name, but that's nor here nor there. But it'll be interesting to see who Washington gets. I think I want to say 7-8 years ago, they had Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and one more.
Well, look what they gave up, too, on defense this year.
Oh, yeah.
They sent, what's his face?
Montez Sweat and Chase Young.
Chase Young to San Fran.
Yeah, sent Chase Young to San Fran and Montez Sweat to the Bears.
Yeah. So, if you got an organization that does that to you, then okay. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I think it was just time. I think they're wanting a whole.
He owns 76ers too, right? Same owner.
He owns the 76ers, and then he owns the Flyers. And
so he's got
They got a bunch of people in there. They got a lot of money up there. Like they're like up there, kind of like how Denver is with the Waltons and all them.
They just need to be smart with it for once.
Yeah. Moving on, though, we kind of touched base on this one. The Raiders are still undecided if they wanted to keep Antonio Pierce as their head coach, which all the players have came out and pretty much said they're big-time players. Devontae Adams and some others have came out and said they want Antonio Pierce, but they're saying their lead candidate right now is Jim Harbaugh. So do you think the Raiders keep Pierce, or do they let Pierce go? And
I think they'll keep Pierce. Why not?
I've seen Pierce went to Washington.
I think he'll stay there. Yeah. Raiders just need to chill with these coaching, fire and hire. Like, just pick a guy and give it, ride it out.
Ownership group. I think this.
I know. It's NFL.
I think they got the second worst owner in NFL. I think the number one is Jerry Jones because he's so involved.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I think Mark Davis. Dude, first off, needs to learn how to style his hair. He's had the worst haircut in the NFL for years. And his dad, I didn't like Al Davis as his dad, and then Mark Davis is just following his footsteps. There's potential there. You're in Vegas. There's a lot of money. You have a nice stadium.
Yeah.
Players, that's an attractive place to go.
Absolutely.
I think you keep Pierce, though. I think Pierce will be very stable. The players love him. What he did for after McDaniels left and how the Raiders played down the stretch, they were very competitive in every game they played in. So I keep Pierce, and you don't have to offer a huge contract to him. You can do one of those contracts. Hey, go ahead and prove yourself, and then we'll see. Big firing here. The one that shocked me probably the most out of a lot of these that we've talked about, though, was Mike Vrabel with Tennessee Titans. Firing him.
I didn't see that one.
Did not see that. I mean, I know he's had 2 bad years. Well, not bad, but 2 not.
The rebuild years. Yeah. You got nobody.
I mean, they took everything away from him.
Got Will Levis.
Yeah.
Cool.
Will Levis. They lost AJ.
You got Derrick Henry, who's 45 out there running. I mean,
they lost. I mean, like you said, they lost everything that was there when he was there. They don't have anymore, other than Tannehill, and they benched him.
Yeah, and he's terrible. Tannehill never was a guy, but yeah, I don't get that. Mike Vrabel, I'm just going to go ahead and say it since you know, too, where he's going. He's going to Patriots if that happens. That's where he's heading. And that would be a great hire for the Patriots, in my opinion. Yeah.
Anywhere I think Vrabel goes will be good for the team, but the Patriots will be the perfect fit.
Absolutely. Patriots could be old Patriots.
But, you know what? We'll keep going. We got one more topic. While we're talking about the Patriots,
Yeah.
they're still undecided on Bill. Do you believe they move on from Bill? Do you believe
They meet next week. I did read an article. They're meeting next week. He's meeting with Kraft to discuss the future. He's been with the Patriots since 2000. I think it's time for a change.
I do too.
It's 24 years. I mean, that's an excellent. There's nothing to hold your head down about. Bill Belichick's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Yeah, I think they do move on. I think it's time.
The only thing I could think of that they might do if he stays is they got to take his hand out of some of these other pots he's got it in. Apparently, he's in a lot of situations where he's over player personnel, he's over hiring and stuff at the facility, he's over not only the players and the football team part of it, he's over the hiring and firing of the business of the Patriots. I think there's a lot that Belichick's in that he needs to maybe take a step back from if they keep him, but I do think this is the end of Bill Belichick. I think they see him move on from him, and I think Vrabel ends up here unless this next thing happens.
Yeah, this next thing does not need to happen. I'll be very upset.
I know I had said earlier in the year when y'all were struggling, the Pittsburgh Steelers were struggling, that maybe it was time to make a change, even though he's done. I mean, he's done 17 straight seasons, making winning record, making playoffs. I mean, 20 straight years the Steelers have had a winning record. That's unheard of. Broncos have had a winning record or made the playoffs in 8 years, and you all have done it 20 straight years. But if the rumors are to people that may say in our Facebook post, the rumors are that Mike Tomlin may step down and step away from the Pittsburgh Steelers and pull a Sean Payton, like he did with the Saints. And what that would really initially turn into is he would relinquish all duties as head coach, but the Steelers would still have rights to him. So the Steelers would have to trade him like the Saints did Sean Payton to Denver. Mike Tomlin may word that a little differently and make it happen a little easier for him. But the rumors are that he may step down as head coach, relinquish all duties, and take maybe a year off, or he might just go ahead and force a trade. And they could be some coaching jobs come open just because Mike Tomlin's out there, because Mike Tomlin's that guy. He's that coach.
He is.
And two places I could see him end up if it does happen. One already has a coach, and one doesn't. Well, it's undecided. I could see him end up in New England. But I could also see if this team loses in the playoffs in the first round this weekend, which we're going to talk about, if Dallas gets beat, I think Mike McCarthy's gone, and I think you could see him end up in Dallas.
Wow. That would be terrible for me. Yeah, I hope he don't leave. I mean, he's 173 and 102 in his career. That's very, very good in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
17 winning seasons. I mean,
yep.
What more could he ask? I mean, I was disappointed at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to lie. I'm a Steelers fan, sure. But I was not saying fire Mike Tomlin. He wasn't the problem. Problem I told you all year was offensive line. Don't have offensive line, cannot establish a run game. They're finally established a run game, which opens up the pass game.
Which makes me wonder, like, I know there was some stuff going on there with Brian Flores when he was suing the Denver Broncos and the NFL for the way he was being hired and stuff. And Mike Tomlin brought him in and all that stuff. There was some rumblings there that he wasn't happy with the ownership group and the direction of the Steelers. I just wonder if there's some stuff going on there behind closed doors that he's trying to get done that's not happening, that maybe he says is costing the Steelers to be what they are, what they could be. So I don't see it happening. I truly, truly don't see it happening. But when I read it and seen that it was legit, I was really shocked.
Yeah.
But if it does, that he ain't gonna be on his couch long. I can tell you that.
Nah, Steelers need to do everything in their power to keep him.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be crazy to let this guy go.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Sorry, I keep looking up. If you're watching this on video, Tennessee's playing right now. I'm a huge Tennessee fan, and they're pulled back in within 3.
We all know you're a huge Tennessee fan.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm trying to take everything in, guys, and keep up with sports at the same time. It's fun. One other thing I want to touch on there before we bounce off the NFL into the wild card rounds this weekend. Russ back in Denver in 2024. I saw you put this on here. That's yet to be determined. Sean Payton said he was open to Russ returning.
Which is very interesting.
We'll see what happens.
And I think a lot of that has to go with what
you bench the guy, and you're like, yeah, he can stay.
Well, what I've been reading is a lot of the players, including Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain, even Courtland Sutton spoke up. A lot of players were very unhappy with the way Sean Payton handled Russell Wilson, and they were angry to the point to where they didn't even feel like they needed to play those last 2 weeks of the season. Even Jarrett Stidham spoke up and said that he wasn't. It didn't set well with him. He said it would have been one thing if we would have been completely out and Russ had played bad, but he said Russ had done nothing wrong. He didn't believe he deserved the benching. And it just makes me wonder. I mean, we're not getting rid of Sean Payton. We got too much money invested, but I've read too it's going to take a lot. Like Denver may have to upcharge on free agents this year to bring them in because people are reluctant to play for Sean Payton the way he treated Russ. I think you bring Russ back next year after how you treated him, just makes the situation that much worse. So I do not think Russ comes back in 2024. Would I be okay with it as a fan? Yes, I would be okay with it, but I don't think it happens.
I don't think it happens either. I think Sean was just saying that just a lot in the grass.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Touch grass.
But hey,
shout out to Doss.
One of the best times of the year probably for the NFL. It's NFL Wild Card Weekend, and starting off, we're going to have the AFC. We got some AFC games on Saturday. You actually have all AFC games are on Saturday. NFC, all but one AFC games on Saturday, and the first one on the docket at 4:30 on on NBC. NBC is the number 5, the 5-seeded Browns at the number 4 Texans. C.J. Stroud's first ever playoff start. Who you got? You got the old man and Joe Flacco with experience, or you going with C.J. Stroud and them young bucks and D'Amico Ryans?
Man, I really do like. I like the Texans. I like watching them. C.J. Stroud's electric. Mm-hmm. Like first play of the game last week, he threw a 80-some yard touchdown pass. I like watching the Texans, but what we was just talking about something there. Talking about college football. He's talking a little bit about it. We was talking about some NFL there a minute ago. Defense wins championships. Browns have a great defense. That's actually what's kept him in this. And of course, Joe's playing out of his mind, playing the best football since he won MVP in the Super Bowl there back with the Ravens. So yeah, give me the Browns in this one. Close, 28-26. Joe has experience. Experience wins in these top games. 28-26, Joe Flacco.
I like that. I like that a lot. I am going with the Browns as well, but I don't see them being that high of a scoring game. I see the Browns win this game 17-14. I think Joe Flacco doesn't turn over the ball. I think C.J. Stroud makes a rookie mistake, which ends up costing the Texans the game. If the Browns were 100%, had Nick Chubb, Mark Cooper, I think, is playing, but still iffy on that one, but I think the Browns could be a team here to make a run for the Super Bowl if they're 100% healthy. But give me the Browns in this one, 17-14 over the Houston Texans.
I like that 3-point game.
Other games,
I think it'll be a little bit higher scoring because you got electric offense with Texans.
You do, but I just don't know if they can score against that defense that the Browns got. But we'll see. We will absolutely see. Moving on, though, the 8:15 game on Peacock, guys. If you don't have Peacock, got to download Peacock to watch this game. It's exclusively on Peacock.
Let us know. We'll send out our passwords.
Yeah, we got you. Hit me up. I'll send you my Peacock.
Whoa. Watch stand up. He'll send you his Peacock, guys.
Yeah. Hey, all about balls here. The Miami Dolphins, the 6-seed Dolphins, played at the 3-seed Kansas City Chiefs. Big thing in this one, I have on here 4 degrees. A National Weather Service reported right before we went on. It will be 0 degrees at kickoff. The Dolphins are 0-17 in their career playing in temperatures under 14 degrees, I think was what they said.
Wow. That's a statistic right there.
2 teams here that started off looking, one team that started off looking really, really good. Another one that was expected to be a world beater coming into this game. 2 struggling teams. You pick the last one first. I'll pick this one first.
Go for
it. Chiefs 13, Dolphins 7.
Low scoring game.
I just see. I don't.
With that
weather,
that
temperature. I just don't see these offenses.
Is it snowing too, or is it just cold?
As far as I'll check. I'll give you the exact forecast. But yeah, go ahead. With
let me know. Let me know if it's snowing first before I give my score.
Okay.
Go Dolphins, go. I don't see them winning. You thought I was going to say Dolphins, didn't you? They're not going to win.
Go Fins.
Give me T Swizzy and Crybaby. Unfortunately, I really do not want to pick the Chiefs. I absolutely despise the Chiefs. One of my most hated teams. I like Andy Reid, but other than that, and when they got rid of Tyreek Hill, I didn't like him anymore. So, really like Tyreek Hill. So, yeah. Score prediction I was just basing off the temperature. Now, if it's snowing, I'll lower this score prediction.
It's going to snow Friday, but it's going to be 9 degrees is the high with a low of -6 Saturday.
Probably a little bit of snow on the field. What you're saying? Or it's clear. Well, it'll be cleared off if it's snow Friday. It'll be cleared off. I'll go a little bit lower score. I'm still going to go with the same prediction, though. Give me Chiefs 21-17.
By the time the game ends, it'll be -4.
Yeah, 21-17.
Okay, I like it. I like it. It's going to be a cold game. It's going to be interesting to see how the weather plays a factor in that one. But for your AFC people, we're moving on. Sunday, big game here. I know you're going to be kind of tuned into this one. It's got your favorite player
Absolutely.
versus your favorite team, and I'm talking about the number 7 seed Pittsburgh Steelers at the number 2 seed Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, two of my favorites here. You hit it off the top. I love Josh Allen. He's my go-to in Madden. But yeah, love my Steelers too, obviously. But no TJ Watt. He is ruled out this game. That's going to hurt the defensive side.
Suit up, JJ.
Mike Tomlin will come ready though. Don't sleep on that guy. I think the Bills have just been too hot, honestly. I think they've won their last five or six. They've had to win out the rest of the season. Like week 10?
Ever since they lost to Denver.
Yeah, it's been a minute since they've lost. They've won, I think, 4 or 5 straight. Which the Steelers have won the last 3.
They have won. How's their schedule go here? Where's the Denver game? Okay, they lost to Denver, beat the Jets, lost to the Eagles. They beat the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Patriots, the Dolphins to finish out the year.
Yeah, that's insane. Give me the Bills. They're hot.
And that happened.
31-28.
I like that. This happened, too, with the streak after they fired Ken Dorsey, former Miami Hurricanes quarterback, and they hired...
What they started doing, they started utilizing James, the running back. That's what keyed all this together.
And if you look at it...
Biggest thing, too, though, I want to say this. Biggest thing for the Bills to win this game, Josh Allen cannot turn the ball over like he's been doing. It's been killing me.
Yeah.
So in this one, I don't really care. I'm happy with whoever wins. I don't care. Steelers win, awesome. Bills win, awesome. I don't care.
Joe Brady took over as offensive coordinator. People don't know who Joe Brady is. He was the offensive coordinator for Joe Burrow, and then when they won the national title at LSU. This is ever since he's taken over this offense, he's really put in that Joe Burrow type offense with Josh Allen. It's clicked. Like you said, they've got a run game going. It's the first time the Bills have had a run game in years. Makes them very, very dangerous. But I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I love their defense. I love what Mason Rudolph and George Pickens are doing. I think they're definitely the underdog coming in this game. But both of these teams are hot. I like Mike Tomlin and his experience, and I've said it. This Steelers team reminds me of the year y'all made it as a wild card, 8-8 team, won every road game, and then won the white jerseys and won the Super Bowl. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game, 24-17.
24-17, close score again. Yeah, I like it. I'll be happy either way. If Steelers win, they got to go all the way. If Bills win, they got to go all the way. That's the thing. That's the deal.
But we have NFC games to talk about, and all these games are Sunday and then Monday. And the first one for them is at 4:30 on Fox. And, oh, by the way, guys, the Sunday game for the Steelers is at 1 p.m. on CBS. So 1 p.m. CBS for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there. And DOS, if you're listening, Bills, 1 p.m. CBS, which will probably be 12 p.m. for you because I think you're in Central. But anyway, Sunday, NFC games. The 7th seed Packers at the number 2 Dallas Cowboys, 4:30 on Fox. Who you got?
Yeah, I never picked the Cowboys. Please, for the Jordan Love out there, give me the Go Pack Go 24-21.
I like that. Go Pack Go.
Yep, Go Pack Go.
I like that a lot. Cowboys, though, I think they got too many weapons. That offense has been electric this year. CeeDee Lamb actually finished 40 yards behind Tyreek Hill and actually had more yards after catch this year than Tyreek Hill, which I did not realize how good CeeDee Lamb was this year for them.
Yeah, he's very good.
Brendan Cooks has stepped up and started to catch touchdowns.
He won me a very nice parlay, CeeDee Lamb.
Big thing with the Cowboys, they've yet to establish that run game. But I think this is a moment for Dak Prescott, and I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys at home, 27-21 Cowboys.
27-21. Yeah, I truly don't see the Packers winning this game, but I'm just throwing it out there. I got to throw a Hail Mary. Give me the Packers.
I like it. I'm a fan of it. Moving on, though, also Sunday night. We're all done with our weekend. We think the weekend's over. We're getting ready to worry about our Monday at 8:15 on NBC. You have the 6-seeded Rams playing the number 2 seed, first ever playoff game hosted at Ford Field, Detroit Lions. Who you got?
Yeah, this game could be very, very tight. Like it's a lot. This can be a lot harder game than people realize.
Hey, it's Matthew Stafford's first game back in Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. Stafford's been there. Stafford, they won the Super Bowl a couple years back. Rams been playing very good football past 4 games. They've turned the season around. But I like the Lions all season. I like Dan Campbell. I like what he's done there. So I'm just going to go with a little bit of faith in who I like. Give me the Lions in a nail-biter, 31-30 to kick it to win the game.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going with the Lions in this one as well, but I'm going with them not to go against my Georgia Bulldog and Matthew Stafford. But like you said, he had his moment. He won the Super Bowl. I'm going with Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff has an amazing game here. He's got a chip on his shoulder coming into this one after the trade because the Rams were done with him. They wanted to move on, and this dude's done nothing but be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league since he's been in Detroit. He does have kind of a Josh Allen syndrome sometimes. He does have turnovers, make mistakes, but the Lions have been getting healthy. They've been playing good football here. They should have beat the Cowboys. They shouldn't have had that loss. They should be the 1 seed in the NFC, I believe. But that game was just whatever happened there. But give me the Lions in this one, and I don't think it'll be that close, but give me the Lions 34-17.
Oh, wow. I think it'll be a close game.
We'll see. I'm interested to see how the game goes. That game I've got circled to watch Sunday night if nothing else is on.
Yeah, that one's going to be – I think that one will be good.
But Monday night, we have a Monday night game, which I'm not a fan of Monday night football on playoff time. But anyway, you do have the number 5 seed, the team that has just fell off the face of the earth, the Philadelphia Eagles, at the number 4 seed, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. 8 p.m. on ESPN. ABC if you want Kurt Herbstreit and Chris Fowler. ESPN2 if you want Pat McAfee. And then on ESPN Plus if you need it for streaming services. 8 p.m. Eagles, Buccaneers. Who you got now, buddy?
Bucks. Yeah, Eagles. I don't know what's going on there. Jalen Hurts looks terrible. Yeah, he looks lackluster. But yeah, give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like what Baker's doing down in Tampa. They've looked very good these past 3 or 4 games. It's going to be close, though. Don't count the Eagles out. They might be sleeping this regular season, but they'll probably still make a run. But I like the Bucks, 35-31.
I like that. I'm going to go with experience here. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this game. I think they finally get over this hump or whatever the heck's been going on. If they don't, I think they got a lot of questions to answer in this offseason. But give me the Eagles in this game, 24-10 Eagles.
Wow, big win.
All right, man. That's all.
That game's at Tampa.
It is at Tampa Bay on a Monday night. The Eagles have the
place gonna be rocking.
It's gonna be loud.
Gonna feel like Brady again.
Oh God! By the way, speaking of Brady, this is the first time since 1998 that Tom Brady or Peyton Manning has not been in the NFL playoffs in any capacity.
Wow!
Mm-hmm. So put that in your pipe. Smoke that one.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move out of the NFL, guys. We have some college basketball to talk about. We had some stuff happen last night. But before that, the Houston had jumped Kansas to move to number 2 in the latest poll. AP poll in college basketball, Purdue was still number 1. But sure enough, as soon as you get to number 2, what happens? You get beat.
Yeah.
Houston got beat last night by Iowa State in a really good game. I watched the end of that game. It was very interesting how that game planned out. But Houston lost to Iowa State, and then sure enough, 30 minutes after that happened, Purdue got upset by Nebraska. Before that, though, Houston was the only remaining undefeated team because James Madison lost and Ole Miss lost to Tennessee on Saturday, leaving Houston as the only undefeated team left in college basketball. But that didn't last long, like I said. Tuesday night, got beat. So there's no more undefeated schools in college basketball, which brings me to the question. If Tennessee runs the table, wins this game, and wins out Saturday, is Tennessee your new number 1 team in the country?
They will not be number 1. No, because you're still forgetting about Kansas.
Kansas struggling tonight.
Yeah, Kansas will probably win, though. If Kansas wins out, I think Kansas does have a ranked – I think they got Oklahoma, right?
Kansas is down right now 48-44, second half against the –
Well, Tennessee's down right now, so they're still down by 5.
You're talking about Kansas, though, that after they play UCF, they got Oklahoma Saturday.
Oklahoma.
We talked about that game a little bit.
Kansas wins that, they'll be number 1. If Tennessee can somehow – hustle back in this one and win this game somehow, it's going to be tough. If they can win this one, it's going to be very tough. But yeah, if they can win, they're still not going to be number 1. It'll be Kansas 1, Tennessee 2 at the best. UConn will be up there too, so it just depends if they jump UConn 2 or 3. We might see Tennessee. We'll see Tennessee top 3 if they win. Well, they got to win. They got to beat Georgia too.
Got to beat Georgia. Georgia's a young team, but wait, we're going to talk about that. But I wanted to ask that about the Vols because that's my national championship pick. I actually put money on them. I got $5 on them. Might throw more on them. So we'll see what happens. But Saturday, guys, we got a lot of good college basketball coming up. I know we're disappointed college football's over, but college basketball is really starting to get really good. Last weekend was really good. This weekend, you've mentioned it. The first game we got to talk about at 12 o'clock on ESPN2, we had the number 5 Tennessee Vols at Athens to play the 11-3 Georgia Bulldogs. What do you think about this game, bud?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be tighter than people think. I think it's going to be a lot like this Mississippi State game going on right now. I hope it's not. As a Tennessee fan, I hope that they just come out there and play like they did against Ole Miss. But Tennessee always does this thing where they play to the opponent's level. We've seen it multiple times happen, so I think this game will be close. But I do have the Vols toughing it out. They just got overall better team, truly.
Oh, yeah.
More depth. But yeah, give me the ball 68-60. I think it'll be a close game.
I like that. I agree with you. I think the Vols pull this one out. Georgia, great record right now. They're 11-3. I follow them a lot. I've been reading, people, a lot of these fair weather fans been putting stuff on there. Oh, they're going to be NCAA tournament team. Long way to go for that. They've had a tough beginning schedule. The win against Florida State looks good. But we got to see what they do in SEC play. They've got to win this game. This has to be a game they win. They got to win the games at home. They got to win one against Tennessee. They got to win one against Kentucky, and they probably got to win one against another ranked SEC school to probably be in consideration. And they probably got to make a run in the SEC tournament. But to focus on this game, I think it will be close first half. But I think the depth that Tennessee's got, I think it pulls away in the second half. And I see Tennessee winning this game 75-66. I think it'll be the final in that game. Mike White's doing a great job with Georgia. They had the number one recruiting class in the SEC this past year, which I didn't realize that till last weekend. They beat Missouri. Got a lot of young talent coming in. Georgia's about 2 or 3 years away from being, I think, competitive, really competitive in the SEC. But I think this is Tennessee's game. Like I said, 75-66 Vols.
Hopefully so. Right now they're pulled, to put in perspective, they're down 55-60. They was within 2. And then they just hit, a jumper.
And,
but they were down by 18 at one time. So depth does work.
There's a timeout right now. And also another game that's going on right now. To all the Hokie fans, you're up 75-66 against Clemson right now. And Kansas is down 5 to UCF right now. So there's only 5 minutes left to go in the Tech Clemson game right now. So it looks like Clemson's going to have to really – they're down 11 or 9. So
wow,
they really got to pull that one out. But we'll see what happens there. But moving on, though, another big game Saturday at 12 o'clock on ESPN. 10-4 Syracuse versus number 7 ranked UNC. What do you think about this one, bud?
Yeah, UNC big. Proved out with Duke. Duke did the same thing. Duke dominated Syracuse in the second half. I like for UNC to do the same thing. 86-74 is my final.
I like that. I agree with this game's at North Carolina, so I believe North Carolina wins this game 93-75. Give me UNC.
Oh, wow.
Moving on, though, if you got the Big 12 network, but if you don't, get on your Hulu, sign into it, ESPN Plus. You can watch this game. Number 9, Oklahoma at number 3, Kansas at 2 p.m. Big 12 network, ESPN Plus. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I like the Jayhawks in this matchup. Oklahoma's not played anybody. I'm surprised they're as high as they are, honestly. The only ranked opponent they played was UNC this year, and they lost by 12. So, yeah, give me Kansas. Kansas had a lot tougher schedule so far and has seen tougher defenses than Oklahoma. So, yeah, give me Kansas.
I like that a lot. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma. They just came off a big win against Iowa State, 71-63. I don't think he's related to C.J. McCollum, but I'm going to say he is. Javon McCollum. That's a guy to watch for Oklahoma. This game is in Kansas. I am right. Yeah, it's in Kansas. Really hard to win there. That's probably one of the toughest places to play. But I want to see an upset. So give me Oklahoma in this one. Very close, 76-73.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
And
I like it.
Moving on, though, we got another big game. This game's also at 12 o'clock. Big Ten Network, so all you Big Ten fans out there. Number 15, Wisconsin 11-3 Northwestern at number 15, Wisconsin. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I like Northwestern.
All right, Northwestern.
I think Northwestern are going to come in here and maybe give you a little bit of surprise. This is the team that did beat Purdue. People forget. So I like this matchup. Wisconsin's had some good wins, solid wins. Made a couple scares, but yeah, I like Northwestern. When they shoot, if they get hot, they can be dangerous. So give me Northwestern.
That's the thing with Northwestern. I do like the upset pick there, but I am going to go with Wisconsin. This game is in Wisconsin. That's another tough place to play. Wisconsin had a terrible loss though against number 9 Illinois. They lost 96-66 against Illinois about 3 weeks ago. They are on a 2-game win streak. They beat Michigan State and they beat Penn State by 4. Like you said, they did have that win against Purdue, so they are very streaky. But give me Wisconsin in this one. And speaking of Wisconsin, they're actually playing a game tonight right now, and I think they are down No, they're playing.
Wisconsin
they're
is
playing Ohio State right now. They're down. It just started. They're down 7-4. That game is in Ohio State, so that's interesting how that game plays out. A lot of good games tonight. Moving on, though, like I said, a lot of good basketball Saturday. I just wanted to get a couple of these games in. After you watch the Wisconsin game and the other games that we mentioned at 6 o'clock on ESPN, still will be ranked number 2, but we'll drop into rankings. Number 2, Houston at 11-3 TCU, who almost and should have beat Kansas last week. Who got that one?
Houston. I think Houston bounced back here after that one loss. I think you see them locked down on defense. Yeah, I like Houston.
I was actually going to go with the upset with this one because I thought TCU was going to come in, almost win against Kansas in Allen Fieldhouse. I thought they was going to be able to do it here, but with Houston losing that game, I think this is a big bounce back game, like you said, for Houston. Give me Houston in this game, big, 86-63.
86-63. I like that take. I like that take.
And then last but not least for Saturday at 8 p.m., 12-2 Cincinnati at number 14 Baylor. This is a Big 12 conference game. For people who don't realize that Cincinnati did move into the Big 12 this year. This is at 8 p.m. on ESPN. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, give me Baylor.
Baylor in this one.
Plain and simple.
Give me Cincinnati in this one. I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think they got a really good interior defense, good on-ball defense. I think Cincinnati pulls the upset off. I think it's really close. I think you're looking at 83-75.
Yeah, Cincinnati's 12-2.
Yeah.
They're no slouch.
They're no slouch. They're very a lot of experience, so be interesting. But hey, there's some people out there that watch women's college basketball and want to know some stuff. You got a big game Sunday. Number 11 Virginia Tech at number 21 FSU at 1 p.m. on ESPN. So this game is nationally broadcast. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, Tech surprised me. I watched the game they just played with NC State.
No, buzzer beater.
They hit a buzzer beater. You had to win that game 63-62. So give me the Hokies again. I think they were going to ride the high. I think we'd see the same Hokies make a run in March. So give me the Hokies. Close game, 56-54.
Would you say, what was that score again? Right here.
56-54.
56-54. I like it a lot. Yeah, give me Tech. This game is going to be in Florida State, so it's going to be tough to play, tough to travel. But I think Tech's just got the better team. Beating NC State, that was a big win. That was number 3 NC State, and Tech going to Florida State. Give me Tech in this game. Close game, 59-56, Virginia Tech.
Close to my score. I like it.
And another big women's college basketball game, also Sunday, 2 p.m. on the Pac-12 Network. Number 8, Stanford at number 5, Colorado. Who got that one?
Yeah, give me the Buffs.
Taking the Buffs and Deion Sanders' daughter. I like it. Yeah, give me the Buffs in that one. Colorado's been good all year long. They play very well on offense. They could be a team that makes a deep run in the NCAA tournament. So give me Colorado Buffs in that one. And another big game Sunday for the women's college basketball, which this is unfortunate. This is the number 2 team, UCLA, at number 9, USC. Big rivalry, 2 highly ranked teams. And there's no TV for it because I don't know why. I'm not part of that. But anyway, who you got now, buddy?
UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA, dominant team. UCLA is a very, very good team this year. I think they could be a sleeper for your national title in women's game.
Absolutely.
But wait, we're talking about basketball. Let's move on to the pros. Got some NBA news. Ja Morant done for the year.
Done for the year. Season-ending surgery on his right shoulder. I saw that. Hate it for Memphis. Well, I would have liked to see them try to make a comeback. They were 11-22 when he went out. I could have made a comeback, maybe made playoffs. Would have been pretty cool to see. But that's not happening this year. Memphis will finish probably dead last or second. Well, sorry, the Pistons finished last. They'll be right there with them though. Hate that for Ja.
Yeah, that's going to be detrimental to Memphis. So, yeah, but hopefully he gets right, gets healthy, comes back next year, has another big year. Another big thing, I'm not a fan of this guy at all. If anybody knows me, I can't stand this man, but I probably would have been like, can't believe this happened. Draymond Green, people don't know, he got suspended indefinitely for just continuous actions that he has on the court, hitting people, choking people, kicking people, playing dirty. And apparently he was going to retire. He was done. He wasn't going to do it anymore, but Adam Silver talked him out of it. What's your opinion on Draymond, and how do you feel about him possibly retiring? Do you wish he would have? Or are you glad he stayed?
Absolutely. I wish he retired. I can't stand the guy. We just couldn't be lucky enough for him to retire. So here he is.
I like it. Thanks.
Can't stand him.
I'll let you lead this next take, though. Bucks, without Damian Lillard, have looked absolutely atrocious and being booed at home.
Yeah, they've lost 4 out of the last 5. You're talking about the game with Utah Jazz last night. Yeah, he had to leave for personal reasons. That's only the 3rd game he's missed since he's been there. First couple of games, he had 2 games he missed because of calf strain. Nothing to be worried about.
No,
On a little bit of losing streak, that's a perfect time of the season to have it. We saw Denver go through it. We'll see Boston probably go through it too here soon. Yeah, just got to bounce back, get back in your rhythm. That shows you how valuable Dame Lillard is.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
All right, while we're talking about it, guys, Thursday, got some big games on Thursday for NBA. First game on the docket, Knicks versus Mavericks. We'll go through these really quick, just give you our picks. So you think, do the Knicks continue? They're on a 5-game win streak. Do they make it 6?
They got the Mavs?
The Mavs in Dallas.
Is that at Dallas? No. Dallas
ends the streak. So you're going with Jokic. Or, not Jokic. What's his name?
Yes. White guy. Yes. What is his name?
I see him.
I see him too. Got the brown hair. Oh my God. I'm going to get bagged on this tomorrow.
Smitty's coming at me hard on this one.
Dude, my brain's done.
Oh, mine's fried, dude, man. Don't feel bad. Oh my God.
Luka.
Doncic.
Yeah, hit me.
Gosh, thank you for getting
God, it took me a second. Sorry.
Yeah, give me the Knicks this one. Going with my team. Keep the streak going. Jalen Brunson.
Brunson.
Haven't lost since they got Anunoby. Keep it going. And they're getting ready to get Michael Robinson back in a couple weeks, so just keep us trending.
I'd like to see Knicks keep going. I like the Knicks, so. But I like the Mavs too.
The Knicks are still a piece or two away, though. They need another bench presence, and they probably need one more.
Yeah, I told you. I think 5 or 6 seeds. What I told you at the beginning of the season.
Hey, hopefully they keep winning. They move on up through there. Next game, though, we got the Nets. This game's at 2 p.m. on Thursday. This is an early game. Is there a holiday tomorrow?
No,
That's weird. They're playing the Nets playing Cleveland. Who you got in that one?
Cleveland.
Speaking of Cleveland, the Miami Heat are actively chatting with the Cleveland Cavs about bringing Donovan Mitchell to Miami, so that'll be big.
That'd be nice.
And also, I don't know if we got it in the notes. I don't think we did, but we did break it on our Facebook page. Eric Spoelstra signed an 8-year extension, $120 million, becoming the highest-paid coach per year in sports.
Absolutely. Great
coach.
Eric
Spoelstra. I mean, you talked about that privately, and he deserves it. Well deserved. Another big game, though. We got the Celtics versus the Bucks. Who you got now?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. I think the Bucks bounce back. I hope so. Anyway, give me the Bucks.
I'm taking the Celtics in that one. They're really good, really coached well, fundamentally.
Very, very good. I think they've lost 6 games.
Yes, 28-8.
Oh, they've lost 2 more since I've last.
So yeah,
okay.
Jason Tatum leads the way in that one. So give me Celtics close.
That might be a 2-game losing streak or close to it.
Yeah, might be.
Maybe.
I think this is the Eastern Conference Finals matchup, though. I think this is the preview for the Eastern Conference Finals. So. Give me the Celtics in that one. Another game, Trailblazers, who have been really just down this year. They're rebuilding, obviously, playing probably the most surprising team in the NBA this year, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Chet Holmgren. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, scoot on by with the Trailblazers. They're done. That's a shout-out to Scoot Henderson, in case you're wondering. But yeah, give me Thunder.
Like that's a good one. The Scoot's played pretty well for them. They're just not there yet.
Yes.
They're not there yet. But yeah, give me Chet Holmgren and Thunder. They're playing really good. That team can make a deep run to play.
Thunder, if you like basketball, watch the Thunder.
If you want a young team to cheer for and you don't have a team in the NBA, that's a good team to cheer for. They're
only if they'll hang on to them.
They're investing into that team, and they are actually building a new stadium. So they're doing the right thing there. So that's a good team to watch.
Should never let Billy Donovan go, though. Just saying.
Where did Donovan go? The Bulls.
Chicago.
Bulls. The last game, though, Thursday nights, Phoenix Suns, who have been probably the most disappointing team in the NBA this year. 19-18 Phoenix Suns versus the 18-19 Los Angeles Lakers. Who you got now?
Yeah, give me the Lakers. The Lakers will hover around 500, but they'll make a run. Give me the Lakers.
I'll take the Suns in this one. I think the Lakers got a lot more issues. I think me and you both kind of talked about at the beginning of the year. There's a lot more to that team than Anthony Davis and LeBron, and they just don't have it. I do think the Suns have a lot of issues as well. But give me the Suns in that game close. We'll see what happens, though. But yeah, the NBA shaping up to be a pretty good season. I've been enjoying some NBA basketball. Basketball's been really fun this year for me. I don't know if it's because we've been doing this pod and we're focusing a little bit more on some other sports side stuff we really, really love. But basketball's really, really fun to watch. MLB, we're trying to wrap this one up. Not much really going on. The Cubs, I don't know how to pronounce this exactly because I don't know how to pronounce the O with the line straight across it. But I'm going to say Shota. Signed with the Cubs, and apparently he took less money to stay with the Cubs, and that's another player the Giants missed out on. Do the Giants get anybody? I mean, they back to Aaron Judge losing out on him last year.
They got what's his face from Japan, that other big pitcher.
Yes, China in it.
Or sorry, he's a field position, I think.
Yes,
sorry,
field position. He's center fielder or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but it seems like they're attached to all these big names. They were attached to Otani. They were attached to Yoshi. They were attached to this guy. They were attached to Judge last year. It's like they just can't close it out.
It's a city.
Yeah, might be the city.
San Fran's terrible.
Great stadium, a beautiful stadium. Beautiful, beautiful stadium. I got to show you a picture I seen of the Oracle Park, where it's located. I can't wait for you to make that one to travel there. Blake Snell. You heard anything else about Blake Snell?
Angels have entered the conversation.
Oh boy, Ron Washington.
Yep. Angels have taken over. First place projection for Snell.
Nice.
Be a great pickup. Be a great pickup. Yeah, they need an ace.
That would be great. That would be really good.
That'd be a good pickup. He might stay out West Coast. Rumors had it that he was linking to the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees will do that because of the trade we're getting ready to talk about here in a sec. I don't see that happening.
Okay. Bellinger, what you got with him?
Staying with Cubs.
That's what I think. I'm with you there. I think that's the best fit for him. Even if he gets offered more money, I think him staying with the Cubs, they could build around Bellinger. I think it fits him well. It takes him out of the spotlight and allows him just to play baseball. And I think he fits there very well. Stroman, free agency, Marcus Stroman. Looks like the Yankees are in on him. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, Yankees need to be. He's got a 3.95 ERA, a little high, but it'd be a great pickup for the Yankees. I like this guy. I just like watching him pitch. He's got 119 strikeouts too. He's pitched 136
pitches with emotion.
Pitches with a lot of motion. Be perfect in the Bronx.
He'll be very Pedro Martinez-ish for the Yankees.
Yeah, I like him. I like his attitude. I hope he comes to the Yankees. We need it.
I think that would be a good fit for Stroman. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I also have seen maybe he might go back to Toronto where he originally started, so it'd be interesting to see. Cubs may bring him back. Who knows? But I think Stroman and the Yankees would be a good fit, but he looked good in pinstripes. The Giants did make a big trade, though. They did land Robbie Ray. Brought Robbie Ray to the Giants. That's a big – they needed that.
Left-handed.
They needed that, especially after losing Rendon last year, and just they needed that pitcher. So that was a big trade for them. White Sox. Looks like they're holding on to Dylan Cease. The Yankees and Cubs. Braves were already scared off by what they won from the Braves. The Braves went on and got Chris Sale for a whole lot cheaper. And Dylan Cease, great pitcher. I love Dylan Cease, but apparently they're wanting five of your top best prospects and one active middle infielder. And the Yankees and Cubs are both scared off by that because apparently they were wanting like Dansby Swanson or the other guy the Cubs got. And from you all, they were wanting DJ LeMahieu or Volpe or whoever plays second base for you all.
Ain't no way.
They were wanting one of those active infielders that y'all got. So it was interesting to see. That's why y'all got scared off from that.
Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber Torres. But they were wanting all your top prospects too, and that's just too much. So it looks like the White Sox are going to keep Dylan Cease.
I don't like when the Yankees trade with like Chicago or
AL teams.
Oakland. Yeah, I don't like it because it never does pan out well for the Yankees.
All right, man. Well, that's all we got right now, guys, for episode 24. It had been a wild one, a little bit longer than normal because of the Nick Saban news.
We had big news,
Still can't believe this happened. Still kind of shocked over the Saban stuff. Interested to see what's happened, what's been developing since we started this. But again, guys, we're in our final thoughts. Castle, got any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. Alabama better not roll the dice.
I like that.
Pick it quick too. Don't let rumors spread and everything. Get your guy and get it done.
I like that. My final thoughts. I've already said it actually. 1998 NFL. It's the last time. It was the last time we didn't have a Peyton Manning or Tom Brady in the playoffs. So that's what I was going to establish and say there. But another thing, guys, we did mention it at the top of the podcast. We are going to do more lives, and we don't have to do just football. I'd love to do some basketball games. I'd love to do some college basketball, some NBA. We'll do some NFL playoffs. We'll definitely hit some NFL playoffs up. NBA, anything y'all want us to do. I know one that I've already locked in. I think I mentioned it to you. I would love to do a live for the slam dunk contest and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, we got some big stuff planned. We're going to bring some guests along over the next couple of weeks. Pay attention to our Facebook, please, guys. If you do anything, just share our Facebook page, get it out there. Invite your friends. Go on our page, click it, and invite everybody on your Facebook page. Just invite them all.
Invite them all.
See what happens. You never know. But, guys, we appreciate everything. That's all we got for episode 24. I don't have anything else. Castle, got anything else you want to throw out there?
I'm good, man. Got to wrap it up.
All right, man. You guys have a great Thursday. Be safe out there. We will be back recording Sunday night. Next episode after this one will be out Monday. See y'all. Y'all have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend.
Thanks all. Bye.